Hello. Good morning to you, my favorite people here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm excited to hear from you. Today, there's a lot to unpack. So, Chelsea have no excuse to beat Crystal Palace today. Um, in about the last 15 games or 16 games, somebody like Jordan Ayew has played against Chelsea from his days at Swansea City in the Championship. And then playing against them with Crystal Palace, there hasn't been a time where Crystal Palace has been able to beat Chelsea. But hey, let me first tell you about what Mauricio Pochettino is doing and why there are no excuses to beat Crystal Palace FC. Whilst there are no excuses not to beat Crystal Palace, you want to stick with me here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I cheat you to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification bell, and then do choose all. It's important that you hear from us anytime we post a notification. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let us get straight into the conversation. But just before we even do all the Chelsea conversation, yesterday it was something else at the Stadium Al Hassani Ouattara in Abidjan. It was something else. The Ivorians literally tore the Nigerian Super Eagles apart. They just didn't allow the Nigerians to sit back. They just didn't allow them to have any control of the game. They just took the game to them. They managed the game. They made difference in the game, and they were excellent. Nigeria, in that second half, were shambolic. I mean, I don't know how good they were supposed to be in that second half where they didn't control the game. There was no attacking threat in the Nigerian team in the second half. There was little to nothing in the second half from the Nigerians. And you expect that for a team that has a lot of attacking threat and for a team that in games they're able to use their attacking depth and whatnot to go ahead and kill people, even when they have less of the ball. I was shocked yesterday at the second half performance of the Nigerians. And I think that yesterday, Jose Pesero really made it easy for the Ivorians. But then, of course, it was brilliant stuff also from the Ivorians. You look at players like Seko Fofana, Sergio Aurier, and then yesterday, my man of the match, even aside Simon Odinga, for me, it was Frankie Aneke. He was all over the place, tormenting the midfield in terms of ball carrying, passing to break the lines, being aggressive in winning balls, those 50-50 balls in the middle of the park. And of course, the Ivorians did use their wide threat very well. Diakite came on and it was a different beast against Zaidu Sanusi. Then of course, Simon Adingra against Ola Aina. It was a difficult one for Ola Aina to deal with him in different parts of the game. Then at some point in time, Sebastian Hele, who missed a couple of chances in the first half and the second half, did come into the party and he got that all-important winner for the Ivorians. And I think that was just a beautiful story, a beautiful Ivorian story written in Ivorian soil, given everything that the Ivorians have been through. Because how were they able to qualify even from the group stages? Given everything else, Ghana had to lose, Ghana had to draw, Morocco had to win at the last one for them, and that's where the story actually began to unfold. And for me, it's a proper Ivorian story. The two past finals that he had won in 92 and 2015 were all won in penalty shootouts, not in regulation time. So Frankie Aneke is the first Ivorian to score a goal in regulation time in an AFCON final as an Ivorian, and it was something else. Look at players like former players like Salomon Kalou, DJ Drogba, Aruna Dindani, Wilfred Bony. All of these players who were part of the 2015 Cup were in the stadium cheering on to the Ivorians, hoping that they could get something, and they did. They did. And I think that for me, Ivorian football is just growing because of the quality of the academies that they have. Of course, Asec Mimosa isn't really doing as much as we expected them to do in recent times. But look at the job the Right to Dream Academy is doing. Look at the job that's how it's churning out players, how some players go to Salzburg. Look at a player like Diakite, he was with Salzburg and just moved to Rennes in the French Ligue 1. He is quality, direct, pacey, aggressive winger, comes straight to you, forces the issue, forces you to make mistakes. And Simon Adingra, for the quality of a player like Simon Adingra, being tutored also under somebody like Roberto Di Zerbi, the quality of coaching is just top notch for the young man, and he has just grown in leaps and bounds from his days at Brighton and now, whilst he's in the Ivorian national team. And of course, the big man of the season is an S5. He deserves all the credit as leading that Ivorian local contingent after Coach Kaseye left the team. He has shown to be such a big man. He completed the job, started the turnaround, got the Ivorians to believe again, and then of course he has completed the turnaround. So it's an Ivorian miracle that went on yesterday in Abidjan, and they do deserve it. The Nigerians were not up to it after they scored the first goal. They just sat back. They just sat back at the Mola Lukman, Samuel Chukwueze. They didn't have time on the ball up top. They weren't able to take the Ivorian fullbacks 1v1. I mean, somebody like that one, Conan was literally on holiday at some point in time in the game, and was seen for Serge Aurier. The two centre back, Evan Ndidi and Kosunu, excellent player. No wonder right after he came from the suspension, he went straight into the game, and that's the kind of quality you get from players like that. So, I mean, it was such an exciting time, such a great African Cup of Nations final, and all the sound bites and everything around the competition even made it even better. So, yeah, that's it. African Cup of Nations is done. It was one of the best I have seen, in fact, if not the best. And I think that Ivory Coast are deserved champions of the African Cup of Nations. And we'll talk about them for a very long time. They're a very good side as they are. Then we'll go into the other things. Yesterday, across all the competitions that went on, Barcelona did play against Granada, Manchester United played against Aston Villa, a game that was supposed to be very difficult. In fact, United didn't play so well, but they got the job done. I think that's the difference between teams like United and Chelsea, where sometimes they don't necessarily play well, but they're able to get a job done. And that's exactly what United did. They didn't play so well, but they got the job done. Arsenal walloped West Ham by 6-0. And I said this somewhere, that if you're a football fan and you want a proper game to talk about total control, total dominance, without the ball and anything, go and watch the Arsenal West Ham game. Arteta had learned his lesson in terms of physicality. He had the dominance to do with it, added Tomiyasu into the middle of the park because he knew that he was going to need someone like that in terms of the physical duels against Sufal and then the other likes, and Kyrgios was also very important in the physical battle. Of course, Magalhaes and Saliba are naturally very physical. White, Harvard at LC, and Declan Rice, Odegaard, and Trossard, Xhaka, and then Martinelli. Totally bossing the midfield with numbers, and Arsenal got the job done. And I think Mikel Arteta is building a very good team. I keep on saying this. For me, they have been my favorite to me in the English Premier League from the beginning of the season. I don't know how it's going to go. It seems to be very difficult as it stands now, but I think that they can get the job done, given how they play. Manchester United got the job done. Also, and Barcelona drew yesterday against Granada and a 3-3 draw in the Spanish La Liga. So, I mean, quite apart from that, let's go to today's game. So you see, Chelsea against Crystal Palace. Chelsea are unbeaten in God knows how against Crystal Palace, and it's the reason why there will be no excuses for Mauricio Pochettino and his charges today if they fail to beat Crystal Palace. No excuse. In fact, Crystal Palace are 15th on the league log. Crystal Palace against Chelsea in previous meeting. The last time was in December 2023. Chelsea won by 2-1 in the Prem. Chelsea won 1-0 in January 2023. Chelsea won 2-1 in 2022. We won again. Chelsea consistently have a very good run. And this is a team that have found it very difficult to beat Chelsea. And even in a not so good time, they expect that Chelsea gets the job done against them. Now, if you look at the fact that they are even going to be some very key players, Rob Holding, Eberechi Eze, Abdullah Dokori, Michael Olise, these are all very important players to their team that they are going to miss. But like yesterday I was talking about, this is a team that's going to be a very difficult team to play because they don't have the attacking threats now. So most likely they're going to sit in a 5-3-2. Very likely, where without the ball you have somebody like Jeffrey Schlupp and then Jordan Ayew playing like midfielders to help clog central areas against Chelsea. And anytime Chelsea are building up, we know one of the things that Chelsea will do if they are building up is to use Moise Caicedo and then Enzo Fernandez in build-up. So if Chelsea are using Moise Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in build-up, what they are going to try and do is that they will use very good presses like Jordan Ayew. They are going to use players like Hughes to close down the passing lanes, and then once you're able to bypass the passing lane, they'll be quick on players like Moise Caicedo. They'll prevent them from receiving the ball and then playing forward. You are going to target them, and that's why, like yesterday, I was saying, it's imperative that in this game Chelsea have the two forms of build-up. It becomes a 3-2-5 shape in terms of build-up, because Benjamin Chilwell has to play high and wide, so that Enzo Fernandez will be on the left-hand side here to build up. And of course, Malo Gusto and whoever the two centre-backs will be in these zones. That's very, very important. Now, once that is done, you make sure that Noni Madueke, who is a wide winger, and he keeps the width very well. You allow somebody like Noni Madueke keep the width in here. It's important that Noni keeps the width. And once Noni is keeping the width, he keeps the width, and it becomes a 3-2-5 shape up top like this. Now, Noni keeps the width. Malo Gusto is excellent in terms of ball progression from the back. Now you have 3-2, the base in terms of progression, which is excellent, because now you have enough players. If they are pressing with two up top like this, now they are pressing two centre backs with a free man here. And of course, Moise Caicedo can stay in between the two pressers here, whilst this one sits here. Moise Caicedo can stay between the two pressers here, and then Enzo Fernandez is free, with also Benjamin Chilwell here, and either of Nicolas Jackson, who will most likely play on the left-hand side in this zone. So Chelsea are best suited for them. Almost every player is back in terms of breaking down stubborn setups like this, even if it's at the Selhurst Park or wherever. Their personnel are back to get a job done. And build-up has to be sorted. If Chelsea do the mistake, Mauricio Pochettino does the same mistake and has Moise Caicedo alone in terms of build-up, he's going to be closed down. I mean, you may even bother to press here. You sit in here, wait as a trigger. Moise Caicedo will receive. Don't forget, he will receive his back to the Crystal Palace goal. Once he receives the ball, Jordan and Hughes will close down on him here. Make mistakes, Hughes will pick up the ball. Jordan will dart into space. Mind you, Jordan is the most powerful player in the English Premier League at some point in time. He gets into this box, you are not careful, he wins a penalty for them. And of course, at Selhurst Park, the fans are going to make it very vociferous and difficult for Chelsea to play. But there is quality, and almost everybody's back. So I believe that Chelsea has to be able to get a job done. And in between the lines is going to be very important as well. How to break the team down in between the lines. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. If you look at how Chelsea will play, it's important that they have the players in between the lines. So once Chelsea is able to progress the ball from this zone to here, bypass this press, bypass this line of press here. Now Enzo Fernandez can come here, join the lines, and now take the pace of the game from here. Conor Gallagher, whoever plays as a number 9, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke in here. It's important. It's also very important that in a game like this, Chelsea do an excellent job in isolating Noni Madueke 1v1 with the opposing fullback. It's important because Noni has that 1v1 threat around him, and then he's able to take on players. Now, apart from that, once Noni is doing this, it means that with Malo Gusto's overlapping runs from here, he can make a very good darting overlapping run, get behind him, or make it inside so that Noni can take the ball and go inside it. It's important. Once this happens, I'm expecting to see a lot of cutbacks because Cole Palmer should be arriving in the box late. I should be seeing the likes of Conor Gallagher arriving in the box late. It's important. And for Enzo Fernandez as well, this is where he gets his stock in trade, the attacking side of the game. Get into the box late, receive the ball at this edge of the field, and it's important that he effects some changes in there. So Chelsea are just well suited for this Crystal Palace side. They have to win. They have to win. I mean, giving statistics, giving data, the players that are back, the fact that Chelsea need to build on the momentum against Aston Villa. I think that's been Chelsea's biggest problem, building on momentum, having some form of consistency, putting 2 or 3 or 4 results together, and then making sure that they build from there has been the big problem for Chelsea Football Club. But it's important that they begin to do that now, because Chelsea, if they win today, have just about 2 points away from 7th place, which is European competition qualification. And it's important. If Chelsea are even able to finish 6th or 7th this season, for me, it's a success. It's a success, given where the club has come from. And Pochettino said the last time that, I mean, the players aren't necessarily young. It's not they are 16 or 17, but the problem is that the team is young. The team is made up of young footballers that have come together who do not have that telepathic relationship, who don't know each other, and they are beginning to know each other and whatnot. And that's why they make some of these mistakes. But today, there's no reason. There is no other reason but to make sure that they get the 3 maximum points, because there is a quality, there are the players, there are the people that can turn the game around. People can turn the game on its head. And then Crystal Palace just don't seem to be able to play against Chelsea here. Now, one of the things I also speak about is the rest defense of Chelsea. Chelsea's centre backs lack pace. I think the only person that has some pace is also injured. Now, apart from that, almost everybody in that centre back area lacks pace. Belashile, Levakowo, Sassi, Thiago Silva also lacks a lot of pace. And of course, I heard there's assist out. So most likely, it's like Levi is going to drop into the back line here. Now, if he does, Chelsea can push up because there isn't too much of a pace. The only pace that Crystal Palace can boast of today is one against Jeffrey Schlupp, and I think that they can deal with him in wide areas, especially if this is playing on the right hand side. Deal with him in wide areas, push him out, prevent him from coming into these zones where he's going to be more dangerous in terms of going into tackles and whatnot. But I think quite apart from that, I mean, it's no excuse. Chelsea really has to beat Crystal Palace today and move close to the top six, and then stay in there, get some consistency together, and get the job done. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I'm grateful to everybody here. I'll see you.